Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about Saturn going direct on 23rd of October. Saturn will turn direct in Capricorn, and then he is going to complete his Capricorn transit uh, up to 17th of January. So Saturn turns direct on 23rd of October. However, now it is stationary, very slow, hardly moving at all. And so that is why I wanted to record it a bit earlier so that you can really understand what Saturn is up to and also work with it. So let us explore. Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about Saturn in Capricorn going direct. So do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. Also, a reminder to you that my courses are beginning in March 2023. They are live, interactive, and they are available around the world. And you can join. I'll be there myself. The details are on my website, komilla.com. And these are very serious, intense courses. And I'm also at the end of this video, I'm going to add the video about my courses too. So check that out. And finally, I think that it is important to see the syllabus, everything on my website, komilla.com. So let us explore Saturn going direct. So Saturn has been retrograde since June of 2022. But now he's turning direct. And when a planet turns direct, he first slows down. So Saturn will actually go direct on 23rd of October 2022. But before that, it has already slowed down because that is moving backwards, is slowing down. So it's almost like creating a pressure cooker situation that some things are coming to a head. Some things are certainly not working at all. We feel totally, things, however much we try, however hard we push ahead, they're not going anywhere because of this situation. And then Saturn will go direct on 23rd of October. And then he will continue all on his own, although Venus joins it in December, early January. It doesn't conjunct with Saturn in Capricorn. So this whole transit is a last bit of Saturn in Capricorn. And Saturn in Capricorn started January 2020. Most of us will remember that that was the start of COVID and, isolation and dealing with all the stuff. It seems like a lot of it is like a memory, but it is still very much so there. So until Saturn moves out of Capricorn, we are not sure really what is the situation regarding COVID. Saturn will station at 24 degrees 25 minutes of Capricorn, which is in Dhanishta Nakshatra. And right now, as I'm recording on 1st of October, Saturn is 24 degrees and 47. So between now to 23rd, it's barely moving. And then part of it will just be stationary. So if you have a planet at 24 degrees, a most important planet is the moon. If you have moon at 24 degrees, if you have ascendant, sun, any other planet at 24 degrees, then Saturn is grinding. He's just sitting on that planet and he is going to create a difficult situation. And sometimes, especially moon means you're in intense saresati and Saturn is sitting, crushing you, can create some crisis situation. And if it is on your ascendant, it could be work-related, life-related, sun, identity. Venus can be about relationships. Mars can be general frustration. You want to do something and Mars is not letting you do. Mercury, you feel very dull. You don't feel inspired to do anything. Jupiter could be issues regarding wealth, children, husband in a woman's chart. Saturn itself means you're in Saturn return. Rahu or Ketu, these are very karmic times. So any one of these planets, if Saturn is stationed on it, so that means you have to have a planet at 24 degrees of Capricorn, then that planet is getting adversely affected at this stage. And what is most important is that you recognize this, that this is not the easiest time for yourself. Things may not be working out, so don't try to push ahead with it. Sometimes we don't have a choice, that how we react to it. But understanding these, you can feel very dull, you can feel lazy, you can feel, oh, I'm making action, nothing is happening. But the wisdom lies in restraint, patience, taking care. And Saturn will remain at 24 degrees almost up to 18th of November. Then it goes into 25 and starts moving forward, slowly moving. It always moves slowly, but right now it is extra slow, and stationary. So we are handling this period. And as I told you in my October news, that, second part of October is very challenging. So other things are happening, eclipses, Mars retrograde. I'm making another video on Mars retrograde as well. So we are conscious that life is a bit unsettled. And so you are taking things slowly and patiently for this time. Another aspect of Saturn at 24 degrees of Capricorn is that it is in the navamsha of Leo. And therefore, it is an unsettled energy, because from Capricorn, Leo is the 8th house. And Leo is also about power and powerful people. And you may see around this time some unexpected issues with people in power, people losing their jobs, sudden changes, things like that. Because Saturn continues to be in ashtamamsha. That means it's in the 8th navamsha from its Rashi position. So this is a very generally unsettled energy, and alongside with the Saturn being in this stationary, almost stationary position, and it moves out of the ashtamamsha only in December. That means that for Saturn to be unsettled, you see, Saturn likes slow and steady pace, and but he's now got under unsettled foundation. So again, we have to be sure that we are not doing things in our life that are creating bigger unsettled energy. We are just taking things very carefully, cautiously, restrained. The keywords for Saturn, I say it many times. And it is as much as a personal choice that we have, we should exercise it. But I think that one positive aspect of Saturn here is, even though he's going to turn direct and ashtamamsha, is that there is no negative conjunction with Saturn. Earlier this year, Rahu was in ashtamamsha, and I pointed out to you in Aries, and then Mars-Rahu conjunction was there in August. And that was that period, all period while Rahu was in ashtamamsha, was very unsettled. So right now we have almost like 3 months of Saturn being in ashtamamsha, and and all this other drama, but there's no conjunction taking, no negative planet conjoining with Saturn. No malefic influence. And then later on, as Saturn ends the transit, Venus is going to be there. So this particular transit it is really affecting specifically those who have uh, planets at 24 degrees. But generally, with Saturn being in ashtamamsha, job situation, Saturn is the lord of karma. So karma is the actions we want to do, so we can feel unsettled about that. It could be career, it could be just generally things. You can see what house Saturn rules for you. So that is an aspect as well. So let us explore how it affects you, studying your moon sign and ascendant. Aries, Saturn is in your 10th house. It's all about profession. However, the ashtamamsha position of Saturn can make it a little bit unsteady, and this slowing down. Be very cautious, because Mars, especially, see my next video on Mars, is turning retrograde. And same time, we have this ashtamamsha position of Saturn professionally. So you don't want to mess up with any issues, and be cautious. Taurus, Saturn is in your 9th house. That's a good transit for you, but it's just you're watching for Saturn slowing down, turning retrograde. It is ashtamamsha, so those things, just being careful. The other point for Taurus is that Venus is combust. I did talk about that, and it's going to stay combust for a long time. So you're a little bit burnt out. So I would say take some care about your health and healing yourself, and not over pressurizing yourself. Gemini, Saturn is in your 8th house. So it's 8th house and it's 8th from itself. So this can be a bit unsettled period for you. And so everything, not making any major decisions, things like that, that is important. Although a plus point for you is that Mercury is exalted right now. Mercury does go into Libra and conjoins with Ketu. So that's a time to watch out for. Watch my Mercury in Libra recording later on. Cancer, Saturn rules your 7th house. It's in dignity and it is troubled. That's the issue. So I feel that your partners, your spouse, feeling that pressure. So you have to be supportive towards them. You have to be conscious that they feel very unsettled, and don't encourage them to unsettle themselves more, but be there as a nurturing, caring partner for them. Leo, Saturn is in your 6th house. 6th house is house of opposition, difficulty. And Saturn has been there for quite some time, since 2020. So, you've been dealing with, but this ashtamamsha position, this unsettled energy, even the opposition feels unsettled, and usually you will feel unsettled by it. And then the eclipses are coming on, so be conscious about that as well. And because Saturn remains in ashtamamsha till December, and then the eclipses and the debilitation of Sun is only till middle of November. So you are watching that period and being careful not to make any wrong decisions. Virgo, one plus point for you is that Mercury is quite strong, at least at this particular time when Saturn is in ashtamamsha. And going direct. It's in your 5th house of ideas, creativity. Sometimes this sort of unexpected energy, unsettled energy can give you some great ideas, but children can feel unsettled during this time. Watch my Mercury in Libra, because then that will give you a better idea. Libra, Saturn is transiting your 4th house, home, happiness. Usually this is a good transit, but Saturn retrograde, going direct, ashtamamsha, especially this beginning part is more difficult. As we go more into later part of the year, December, January, be more able to get advantage and positive energy from Saturn. I think the other important thing is that Venus is in Virgo. It is combust, it's burnt out. You need to take time to rejuvenate yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself at this stage. Scorpio, Saturn is in your third house. So third house is house of communication, action. So right now, Saturn is not encouraging you to take any action. So on the positive side, you can think, okay, let me clarify what action I want to take. Let me be patient just now and decide how I'm going to act on these things. Now, do watch my Mars in Gemini transit, because Mars is also turning retrograde, your Lagna Lord. So therefore, it's not just the Saturn retrograde, it's Mars behavior too that is affecting you. Sagittarius, Jupiter is comfortable through this time. So it is steadying the situation for you. Saturn rules your second house, which is to do with money and speech. And so I would say that especially till about December, be very careful about making any financial decisions. Watch what you say. And then after that, Saturn will be solidly there. So it is okay to make risky financial decisions, I would say, day-to-day financial decisions, okay, or some important factor. But Jupiter is protecting you. He's strong. So you are going to be okay. Capricorn, of course, Saturn is transiting. If you are Capricorn moon, and if you have moon in Dhanishta Nakshatra or 24 degrees, then this is a huge transit for you. For general Capricorn as well, because Saturn going in ashtamamsha, it's shaking up your life, the foundation of your life. There's some unsettled energy. And what happens usually with these transits, we feel unsettled. So we think, oh, we must take action. Whereas what Saturn is telling you is contrary, to be careful not to rush into anything. And that will be your best choice. Aquarius, Saturn is your ruling planet. It's in the 12th house. It can take you abroad. One of the unsettling is traveling, going abroad. But I would say that because the inner you is feeling unsettled, you may want to change things in your life. And right now, take your time before making a decision, because Saturn is also in a transitional phase. Right now, all the pressure is building up when he goes direct, even though he's ashtamamsha. You'll be more clear what you want, where you want to go. Pisces, Saturn is transiting your 11th house, but the big advantage for you is that Jupiter is in your ascendant, and he is helping you to calm down, make the right decision. Saturn 11th house, making good money for you financially. This is a good time, but ashtamamsha position up to December, that means that earnings, or could be intermittent issues regarding earnings, and you are not trying to ask for a raise just now. You're not trying to push your financial agenda. What happens organically, naturally is okay. So that is it for today. Do remember to subscribe. October, November, lots of things happening, and I'm going to be posting regularly for that. Thank you.